This is Jay with Sugar Hill Sway. Dig this sweet smelling intro, man. Why is gas so funny? I never in my life. I was at this little convenience store and getting me something to drink right here close to where the gym that I'm working at, a little convenience store right there. And there's probably 4 or 5 of us in there waiting in line, you know, to pay for what we're doing, you know. We're all social distancing. We're all 6 feet apart from each other. We're all standing on these little circles in the floorboard. It looks like a Twister, game of Twister down there. And we're all standing on our appropriate color and our appropriate shape. And there's a guy. He was next in line to pay for whatever it is he had. And there's a I think it was a lady that was in front of him. And she paid for his, and as she was walking by him, he rips a monster. I mean, he mashes a big old frog. And it just, you know, never missed a beat, never slowed down, never acknowledged it, never even gave any inclination at all that he even did it. But everybody in there, we're all standing and we're all kind of looking at each other. Can I get off my circle? Can I get... After a while, it didn't matter if we could or couldn't, because we was getting away from that because it was starting to float and it was a mess, man. Woo! But it's so funny. Gas is so funny, especially from people like that. Oh, you know, it's just weird. Me and my wife years ago, we took a trip up the Atlantic coast there. Went to several places and everything. And we went to, one of the places we went to was Colonial Williamsburg. And we were in, I'll never forget it, it was in the governor's house. It was in his ballroom. And it was this big, vast, wide open room, you know, just like you'd think for a ballroom would be. And we were sitting in there, we were standing in there, and it was just me and my wife. And there was this old lady, this grandmother with her, I think it was her grandson. I mean, I assumed that's what it was. And she was standing in front of us, and she busted one. And that thing, the acoustics in that room were just unbelievably just great. If you wanted to sing a song or something, unfortunately it didn't do very much for a fart. It sounded off pretty good on that too. And we were just sitting there, and my wife looked over at me, she said, "Was that you?" I said, "No, it wasn't me." If it was me, I'd be smiling, I'd be happy about that one. But no, she woo, that was rough. Peeled the paint on the wall. I love coming back, Kim. Big boy bump. Boom. those are my tire tracks or not. Back here, I'm gonna look at these cameras and just see if there's any action on them. But I baited them pretty heavy, put a lot of stinky cat food out, draw in all kinds of stuff, so let's see exactly kind of what we got right here. Alright, we finally got a little action right here. This is the one place I was talking about. If I didn't see any action this week, I was probably gonna move it. Well, they saw some action here. Kind of anxious to see what it was. It hadn't moved, but it's definitely missing some corn. So I'm gonna put some more corn in that bottle because it's still in pretty good shape. I'm gonna fill it back up and try to go ahead and change that card out on that Tasco. But something definitely got into it. I think you know. Like I said, I dumped the cat food out here, and I put it in this clear bottle instead of that old milk bottle. Old milk bottle's kind of murky, you know, so they can actually see the corn in that thing better than they can that old milk jug. Just another phase in the experiment, baby. Okay. Let me change the card out. Let me see what the battery is. Battery seems all right. No. Alright, there's no real way to check the battery. I guess when it just quits recording, I guess it's done. Alright, this one's set back up. This is the little Scout camera. This is this little 8 megapixel Tasco that I got. I use it primarily for like scouting purposes, just to kind of see what's there because the picture quality ain't gonna be that great. Still better than that old stealth cam that I had. All right, we got this one set up. Let's see, go check on the other one. So I'm just here riding this fence line. Just looking around. But I helped put this barbed wire fence up, believe it or not. About, I don't know, 25 years ago. That was a job. That wasn't no joke, buddy. My father-in-law had 2 of us. He had me and his nephew at one time, then had me and a Latino fella help him another time, and then it was his nephew and the Latino fella would do it when I wasn't around, so. Just trying to look and see. I haven't walked them woods down there in years. After deer season next year, I'm gonna walk it, I believe. I bet there's some good squirrel hunting down in there now. I don't think anybody's been squirrel hunting down there. Now, oh crap, no. hole in the road. Now this is always a good spot because it's right here in the corner. You got several trails and you got some woods right here that are cleared out. Right there, and see there's a trail back in there. There's a trail back in there. There's some open back in there. Now let's see what we got. There's the jug. There's the camera. Looks like they've been walking this little spot right here. They came out and they ate some of the corn, but they didn't tear into it like I thought they would. We're gonna move this a little closer, I believe, to the camera. Move a little closer to the camera and put some more cat food out. All right. I'll tell you what I'm liable to do. Instead of putting more corn in that jug, I may come back. I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow to check on the other ones, because I know my wife and the dogs, they're gonna want to come over here tomorrow. I may bring back a clear bottle tomorrow and put it there. That'd be probably what I'd do. Just bring back a clear bottle tomorrow and put that here. Yeah, but I'm gonna move this post to like right here, because a lot of the action, a lot of the traffic is coming in here. This is where we saw the turkey and the deer and the possum and the armadillo and the turtle. Right in here's where the turtle was and everything. So yeah. That's probably what I do. I'll go ahead and move the post. I got my little mini sledge today. I can move that sucker. Plus the ground's a little soft, so it ought to make it a little bit better going in. All right, let me go cut this one off. All right, let's do a little comparison video here. Okay, I'm gonna come back tomorrow at the same spot. All right, see all the red right there? I just put some strawberry syrup out here this time. And I just took the corn and I put it on its side. Spilt a little corn right here just for sight purposes. And I moved the pole. Pole is here. It was right there. You can see the hole. So right there's where it is. So right there's where the corn was, and that's where the corn and everything is. That'll give me a little bit better, I think, perspective. Because it seems, like I said, it seems like a lot of the traffic that just comes by comes right through here. So yeah, so maybe that'll help out some. Plus we'll be able to see anything on the back side of the pole where we couldn't before. So instead of moving the camera, I moved the pole, because the camera was positioned pretty good. But just as a comparison, we got this here today, and tomorrow when I come over and change that bottle out, we'll see what it looks like then. All right, we'll get out. All right, y'all, look at this gopher hole. This is right here pretty close to where I just put that corn out, moved the pole, put the syrup down and everything. This is probably 30 yards, 40 yards maybe. Yeah, about 30. Anyway, this is a gopher hole I've been kind of watching and keeping an eye on, because the gopher hole, anything will use a gopher hole, a gopher digs, you know. Gopher ain't in it, anything that'll den up will get in there and use it as a den, like a snake. Or anything else. A coon, I've even heard of people talking about a coon using a gopher hole for a den. But it looks like, if y'all look, see how it's kind of smooth right there going in? I'm pretty sure that's a gopher sliding in there. It's got some old footmark, gum tracks. Y'all, my brain ain't got, it ain't working. But you can see how it slides down, so I'm pretty sure there's a gopher in there. And that's pretty recent. Now, whether it's the same gopher that I caught on my trail cam last week or not, I don't know. But you can tell where his feet dug in and pushed down. See, all 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, as he was pushing in. So I guarantee you, if I was to run a hook down there, I could hook him right now if I wanted to. But that on the trail cam seemed like he's a pretty nice sized fella, and those slide marks right there, shoot, they're probably 8 inches across. That's just on his belly. So he's probably a right sized turtle. Y'all, that dog knows her way around better than I do. I don't have a problem with her running free or anything like that. That's why I brought her. I needed my picket line. She knows where she's at, like I said, better than I do, and that's the frustrating part about her. Whenever she goes missing, we know it's not because she's lost, it's because she's hiding. She ain't ready to go home or anything. But I had to bring her today. Just had to. Like I said, I needed somebody to run interference for me. It got a little spooky last week. But it's just me and her today. A little hot for the rest of them. Alright. Walk around here and see what we got. Well, this is disturbing. Not only is there not, nothing's really bothered that bottle. But nothing's really bothered the corn that I put out. Alright. Change it out. Change the camera out. Can't believe nothing's messed with that corn. Huh. Yeah, it looks like it kind of struck out here too. Something's been messing with it, but they hadn't been tearing it up like they did last week. Huh. I'm gonna hang a couple of bottles from right there. Hey girl. I was wondering where she was at. She's right there. You can't see her hardly. Well, that's what I did. I just left the old jug right there. Put those 2 hanging bottles right there. And instead of putting out cat food this week, I just sprayed some syrup around. I think what might have been happening is when I put the cat food out here, it probably draws predators. Wolves, and I mean not wolves, coyotes and dogs. And that's probably what's kept the deer away. So I think I'll just, like I said, I just sprayed some strawberry syrup around and instead of leaving the cat food, see how that does. Changed the batteries out in the camera. I was worried a little bit about them because last week when I changed it out, it had 330 something videos on it. So I was afraid that the battery was drawn down. Or the batteries were drawn down. So I replaced new batteries in it. Of course, changed the card out and hung the 2 bottles. Now I gotta find the dog, head back to the truck. All right, I just left that bait bottle there. And I mean, I spread the corn out a little bit, but so it could dry up. It was wet, so last thing we need is that to ferment and have a bunch of drunk animals running around here in the woods. That wouldn't be good. So I spread it out. I went ahead and hung 2 more of these little bottles right here and opened them up. So I've already changed the car, but guess what? I'm gonna remember to turn it on. Well, something was him. I'm gonna go ahead and change out that card. It's only been there like a day, but I'm gonna go ahead and change it out. And this is where I was gonna put the clear bottle, the clear jug with corn in it, so they could see it better. Yeah. Yeah. All right, this is location, what I call location B. I went ahead and put this clear jug of corn out. I took the corn that was in the milk jug and just spread it out in different places. And I hung me 2 bottles right there. So, yeah, maybe something will happen. Something came down here last night and ate some corn, I know, because what I had poured out was gone, and all that was left was what was in the milk jug. So I got this one. Where's the hole? Oh, there's the hole right there. All right. I know y'all, I don't know if y'all get tired of this or not, but I do this as much for myself, as I do anything else. I'll go back and I'll look and see how I got that and want to change something later on, but yeah. All right, we'll see how well this does. I turned that camera on because I'm a bad dude. Look who decided to show up to the party. I knew if you heard that truck, you'd come on. Okay, y'all, we got some trail cam videos to go through. I was pleasantly surprised, like I kind of halfway expected to. So let's get to them, huh? All right, yeah, we're gonna start off the video with Prissy down there eating my darn food that I put out. I had just driven off, and she had to come out and eat some of the cat food and stuff. There's a coon. This is of course, I'm sure you've seen that, but there's a little old deer, a little buck deer. This is the first location that I was talking about, that if I didn't have any action out there, that I was gonna move the camera, and I might still do it. This is just because I got a deer and a coon down there. I don't know. I'm gonna see what I got on there this week. I've still got a camera to put out. I've got the other little scout camera, little Tasco. But the coons were back. Now this is the second location. This is the second location where I, had the turkey at last week and everything, and I have it on good authority that the coons had a convention last week. Now I had to double check the information that I had, but the coons had a convention last week. That's why there wasn't nobody out, no coons last week, just all the rabbits. So now they back. They had a convention up in Eufaula, I think, is what one coon told me. He waddled up and kind of whispered it in my ear. But they are back in full force, buddy. They can see 3 of them right here. Fitting to see one video with 4 of them in there. Let's see, 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. I knew there was one in there that had 4 of them in there. Like I said, I moved. This is the one. I want y'all to look at see that swirling going across the screen there? I don't know what that is. I'm thinking maybe it's fog. It's not wind blowing dirt around or anything, because the grass and stuff isn't blowing. And now it stopped. It's not there anymore. I'm thinking maybe it was fog. Of course, there's a stinking armadillo. Darn leprosy carrying thing. Of course, here's a little rabbit, little old rascal. He's hopping and jumping around. But this is the second location. The third location is coming up here in just a minute. There we are. We got another little rabbit, got a little bird right there. And there was still some action here, not a whole lot, but some. It's going to take them a while to figure out how to get the corn out of that kind of jug over there. The hole is in the side of the jug instead of the end of the jug. So they're gonna have to figure that out. Well, I think once they do, it'll be just as active as anything else. There's a pretty little deer right there, a little buck deer. I like that coat. I like their spring and summer coat on the deer. It's more vibrant than it is in the fall. In the fall, that it kind of turns bland and blanches out a little bit, but it's just a pretty coat on that deer, summer deer. Now I want you to look at this one's tail. Take notice of that one's tail. Now I want y'all to take notice of this one's tail. It's a different deer. That looks like a bobtail deer. Now this may be very common. I don't know. I'm not a deer hunter, so I don't really see a whole lot of deer. But that was kind of freaky to me. Of course, there's a little rabbit. That is just kind of freaky a little bit to me. Got the little rabbit. I want y'all to see that spider in that spider web. You'll see that spider up there? Sometimes when that spider web and that spider moves a lot, it'll trigger the camera. Okay, this is the next location. This is the fourth location. This is the location where there's a lot of still a lot of action. Whether or not there's you know, a lot of corn gone or anything, there's still a lot of action there. Got this one coming up. Now this one, I swear this looks like a pregnant duck. She got out of there. Something spooked her butt. Oh, something spooked her. She'll be back though. And of course she got the coons. Coons got the bottle figured out. Their little hands about the size of a silver dollar. They can reach in there and get all the corn they want. Coon's gonna figure out a way to get something to get it something. Coons are funny to me. They just look like freaky looking cats. Of course, there's a darn tick eater. Just about any animal will eat corn. Even dogs will eat corn to some extent. Not many of them will, but some of them will. I have seen some dogs eat corn. All right. There's a little rabbit. I was wondering what was in frame, and I didn't see it until it moved. A little rabbit off there to the left. I must have missed something there. Yeah, see. What was that? What in the world were they doing? They both just kind of backed up and jumped up. Now they're back eating. That's a pretty shot of the deer with his antlers head on. Now, I wish I knew whose dogs these were, because they're somebody's dogs. They're too healthy to be wild dogs, and of course they got collars on them and everything. But they're pretty dogs. I mean, they're not mangy old mongrel dogs. And you don't really see them out at night very much. It's mostly during the day when they like to roam around. Like I said, I wish I knew who there was. They're not bothering anything, you know, to me. As long as they're not up around my house, they don't bother me that much. They're just real pretty dogs. They're healthy dogs. Of course, like I said, out here in the country, folks just let the dogs run wild. I let Prissy, we leave Prissy outside all the time, that old blue heeler. We leave her outside all the time. Of course, the coons are back again. It's nighttime. We leave her outside sometimes, but she never leaves side of that house without being with us.
You know, like I said, them coons got it figured out. Of course, they won't eat that much corn in their lifetime, but they got it figured out. All right, that's going to do it.
Okay, those were kind of cool. Like I said, there's just enough action at that one site that I was thinking about moving. There was just enough action there to make me leave it there another week. So if I get over there next week and it's not any better, I'll probably move it. I got some other land too that I want to put some cameras out on. The other 3 cameras seem like they're doing pretty good. I mean, they're getting, you know, kind of what I thought they would get. Kind of anxious for them to get used to that clear jug with a hole cut in the side of it. They knew how to work that milk jug, so when I threw that clear jug out of there, they didn't have a place to stick their nose under the mouth of it and lift it up. When it fell back down, it dumped some corn out. Well, they can't do that with these clear ones with a hole in it. They got to kind of nudge it around some to get a little bit. The coons got it figured out. The coons' little bitty hands ain't that big. They can reach in there and grab some, but the deer haven't. And that's kind of what I'm waiting to see from them. But you know, even though they're not eating that much, they still spend a lot of time, especially at that last place. You know, they really spend a lot of time. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get them, or they'll get used to it. I hope. Let me put it like that. I appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell on the side to let you know when we have a new video come out. And again, thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next week. Don't forget shop time video tomorrow night. Thanks.